Cheers, everybody. Good afternoon and welcome back to the hot Stony Ridge Farm. We got beautiful flowers here. I might as well show you those. Right off the front porch, gorgeous flowers. It is roasting out here. I'll show you some more flowers. These are what I call puffball sunflowers. This is all right here on the front porch on the farm. Welcome, guys. Today is going to be a bit of a different live stream here. I guess every day is a little bit different here on the farm. We're a little bit early right now. We're going to get into the meat and potatoes of all this here in just a second. First of all, I want to let you guys know what our plan is for the day. So first, I'm going to feed these apples to the chickens out here in the yard. And guys, it has just been absolutely scorching today. We're going to touch on a lot of things in today's live stream, from the heat and the scorching heat that we've had here. Super dry in North Carolina where I live. Literally no measurable rain here in nearly 6 weeks. See all this hay out here? Well, just bought our annual $10,000 worth of hay. And in the last month here on the Stony Ridge Farm, I've got 53 cows now. And we've had to feed nearly $2,200 worth of hay over the last few days, last month here on the Stony Ridge. I did just move the cows over to a grassy spot on the far side of the farm. Everything has grass, but it's just not growing. We're just not getting any rain. It's to the point where even the deer in the forest, and there's a deer, a little family of deer that live right here in this forest behind the house. It's getting to the point where even those deer are laying down in the creek, and my neighbor had a picture of a deer laying in the pond over there. So first and foremost, it's about 94 degrees. It's supposed to be 95, 96, something like that today. You can see everything is dry. It's just stressful in the time of being a farmer, I guess. We're going to do a little bit of running around the farm. We're actually going to hop in the tractor. We're going to do some mowing together. We're going to stay on this live stream for a long time today. And we're going to open up a discussion amongst everyone in here, because in case you don't know about all that's going on in the world of our country in the last 24 hours, there have been some things that we need to get off our chest, and we need to think about, we need to talk about, we need to clear the air here so that, you know, these are things we need to talk about. One thing we need to talk about is taking Buddy to the pond. You want to go swimming? Free. Let's go in the water. Come on. Go ahead. I'll get my dog out. We're going to take Buddy to the pond, let him take a nice cool dip before we get busy. Come on. Go to the bathroom. Go pee-pee. Go pee-pee, and then we're going to go swimming. Go pee. So, gosh, again, there's been a lot going on in the last little bit. I will say this. Thank goodness, and congratulations to, if you guys haven't been following the case with Alec Baldwin, congratulations to Alec. Gosh, if you guys get a chance after this video, go on YouTube and watch the case being thrown out against Alec Baldwin, and the tearful celebration, I guess, of what went on there with Alec Baldwin and that issue. There are certain things we can we can talk about here on the social media, and big congratulations. Ow, that's hot, to Alec Baldwin and his family for all that. So we're going to talk about a lot of the events that have gone on in the last few days and the last day or so, and we're going to take you around the farm. So hopefully everybody, this is an open discussion. I expect everyone to be good and nice and kind and mature, and I expect nothing more of my viewers and my countrymen. Come on, let's go water. Come on, water. Watch, Buddy knows what's up. Oh, this seat is so hot. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna turn the camera around so you guys can watch Buddy enjoy his afternoon dip. When it comes down to it, this time of year, I take Buddy down to the pond a couple times a day so he can get him a nice afternoon dip. Buddy is not an inside dog. I know some people have a difficult time understanding that, but this is a farm. This dog is dirty. If his bark doesn't get you, his bite doesn't get you, his smell will. Buddy wouldn't know what to do. In fact, I've let him in the house several times, and all he wants to do is get back out. That's all he wants. He does not want to be in the house. So we'll take him down for a dip in the pond, and we'll open up some discussion, guys. It's crazy times we're living in right now, but you know, honestly, no crazier than any other time. I think that what's happened, let's get water. Let's get water. I think that what's happened is wrong. It's totally inappropriate, and I think we all need to be thinking about that. Go water, bro. You must not be that hot. Oh, there he goes. So, yep. I think that in the world of go water, get your water. He's like, what do you want me to do? I think he's going to the bathroom. Water. Good boy. Get that water. The water's probably 85 degrees. Is it hot? Want to lay down? Yeah. So anyhow, all the stuff that's gone on here in the last little bit, I had a good friend of mine text me last night to tell me about the current events. And I also, it was announced, I was at a race last night. And if you guys don't know, I recently bought a race car, and you know, I grew up in Martinsville, Virginia, grew up in a race town. And I've always, you know, had a bit of an affinity for racing. So I went down to what they call the Madhouse. Any of you guys know what the Madhouse is? Post it down there. Went down there last night and watched some racing, and they were actually announcing it over the PA at the racetrack. So I think it's important for all of us to understand and know that this is something that's sad. It's unfortunate that's happened, but there's no need for a crazy knee-jerk reaction from our world, from our country. I think we all need to continue to live, you know, as we live. That's just my thoughts. I don't think a crazy knee-jerk reaction is going to solve anything. I don't think you ever solve any act of hatred with another act of hatred. It's just not feasible. So let's see if we can get Buddy to get out in the pond a little bit further. Go water, 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 water. He's gonna lay down. Want to lay down? Does it feel good? Come here. Yep. No, nothing ever got solved with hatred, and that's really what I'm all about saying today about all the current events that have gone on. And we'll talk a little bit about that later, and we'll talk about the farm. Hey, bro, we're at the pond, buddy. Oh, you going to the bathroom? You guys don't need to see that. Evidently, the water is helping Buddy. Hey, water. Now I know why you wouldn't swim. Go water. Get that water and fertilize the yard for us. Water. Oh, it's funny. Okay, we're going to take you back up so you can get back in your nap position. Oh, man, that's funny. You don't get that every day, right, buddy? Good boy. What is it? Is there something down here? All right. Good boy. There's a couple holes right here where I'm riding. You can see it's quite bumpy. I've got a load of dirt right here, 2 loads of dirt actually, and we've got to fill in some holes. You'll see that in a future video. All right, let's ride on up to the mega shop. We got to fire the big TYM tractor up. We're going to take you guys on a mowing excursion today. Dude, what is it, man? Get them. Get them. Get them. There's nothing to get, is it? Come on. Buddy's a good dog. Good dog. So tell me, guys, has it been super dry where you're living? Again, we haven't had a measurable rainfall here on the Stony Ridge. We're in north central North Carolina. We just haven't had a measurable rainfall in over a month. It's just been crazy. Come on, good boy. I think I need to put my glasses on. I've got some readers. I might. You guys might laugh. Buddy knows where he's going. That's his place. That's it, buddy. You know where to go. Go to your bed. I think I'm gonna have to get some readers. I can't see your comments. They're so small. Yeah, praising Alec Baldwin. I'm not praising Alec Baldwin. I'm just saying congratulations to his family for all that went on there. You can see the tearful event that went on. I mean, it's life. Imagine having your life flipped upside down like that. Guys, somebody tell us the gist of what went on. Again, imagine your life being flipped upside down like that. It'd just be a horrible, horrible event. Absolutely, a life changer for sure. So, especially for those that are in the public eye like that, I mean, it's such a life changer, such a crazy event for that guy. I hate it for him, and I hate it for all the families of everyone who's involved in that situation. Prayers go out to the victims of last night's or yesterday's situation. Thoughts and prayers for sure, guys. It is Sunday. It's very unfortunate, very, very sad situation. So I'm watering. We're up here at the outdoor kitchen. I've been watering for days and days and days here. We put down new grass and it's like sprinkled once since I put down new seed right here, guys. And I've just had to move sprinklers. This has been my life right here for the past, I guess for the past 5 weeks. This has been my life. The cattle were right out here. And what I did, this is the newly cleared land. There's still a lot of rocks for me to get up, but the cattle have been ran right here for just about a full month. And we put out all this hay on this newly cleared land, which should help that newly cleared land to get a good hold and get some good grass growing. All right, no precipitation in 6 weeks, says James. Life changer for the woman. Absolutely, it's a life changer for everyone involved in that situation, and a life changer for folks involved in yesterday's situation. So absolutely. What we got? As a veteran that's been deployed on combat missions, Secret Service reaction was pathetic. Well, at least he's okay. That's all I can say. I don't wish that on anybody, and we don't really get too awfully political on the channel here, picking sides. You know, I'm one that is of the opinion that picking sides is appropriate at times, but when it comes to dividing our nation, I am 100% in agreement that the news media in this country definitely helps to divide our nation. You guys can chime in on there if you like. I definitely appreciate all your input. I don't think that we should be a nation divided. I just don't think that we should be as divided as we are. I think we all need to pull together, and we all need to work together, and we all need to solve problems together. That's the only way we can solve problems, is if we all work together. That's it. So let's pull on up here. We're going to hop in the tractor. And you know what? I think I am going to go down. I'm going to fire the tractor up. I'm going to go down and get some readers so I can see your comments. Isn't that sad? We've crossed the line on the Stony Ridge farm. I've got to go get my Wrangler Star readers. It's good stuff. What we got here? Only reacted after the shot. I don't think you can place any blame on the situation that's gone on here. Is it Ben? I honestly, when there's a situation like this, and the Secret Service has to act fast, they were there pretty quick. I don't know. there's going to be an innumerable number of conspiracy theories that come out about this, guys. I know it, you know it, we all know it. I think the best thing for us to all understand is that it happened, and thank goodness that Mr. Trump is okay, former President Trump is okay. It's so sad for the other folks that are injured. Thoughts and prayers go out to those folks. I mean, it's just this is a crazy time in our country for sure. I'm going to set you down for just a second, and I'm going to run in the house and grab my readers. Get ready. You're going to see Stony Ridge and readers in a second for the first time. This will be funny. There it is. Uh-oh. That was a real life situation though. Training for this can be surreal. Yeah. Leaving the roof unprotected is a failure of the Secret Service. I mean, it's all so super unfortunate, guys, and I really hate that any of this has gone on. However, what I'm here to say is a knee-jerk reaction is not the appropriate reaction for the public, in my opinion. I think we need to get to the bottom of this. There will be many conspiracies. Thoughts and prayers go out to the victims. Absolutely, and that's really what my thoughts are. Hey, Josh, nothing new with readers. So I can actually read your comments right now. I can't see anything out there. I can barely see. And I can read your comments. Freedom Farm says the last 3 years has really sucked. Is that for weather or is that for politics, brother? Oh, he's expected to make a statement. Okay, gotcha. Dang, those 2.5s you got on, I don't know what they are. I had to buy these a few years back because I was having trouble with migraines. And I was staring at screens too much. I was editing screens a whole lot, and it really gave me migraines. It made me have horrible, horrible headaches and dizziness. So I think they look pretty good. I don't know. I look a little more serious about things, right? We're riding up here to the tractor. We're going to get in Big T, and we're going to do a little bit of a mowing job here. We're going to mow this little section of pasture and another little section of pasture as we talk amongst ourselves about, again, love, life, relationships, everything that's going on. I did go out last night. I went to the Madhouse. If you guys know what the Madhouse is, it's called Bowman Gray Stadium. They're in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's one of NASCAR's oldest tracks. What is in here? How did I get? Oh, there. I was in this thing and I was covered in hay the other day. I was like, why is there hay in my seat? Please don't be deceived. They will use this to get the right. And yeah, I don't know about all that. You know, everything's politics nowadays. Everybody makes even their purchase decisions on politics. They're watching who they like on social media. Shut. Stay shut. Gosh, door won't stay shut. Come on, buddy. I'm gonna break the glass trying to shut this door. That's annoying. Oh, slam. Still didn't get it. There we go. So I see you guys are talking a little bit about what happened. Just curious, why do you have so many Honda Elements? Bailey Davis. Well, Bailey, why do you have so many Honda Elements? It's like asking me, why do I have so many shoes? I have 2 Honda Elements that I drive like daily, and then I have 2 Honda Elements. Well, one that's a parts vehicle and one that I bought as a flood vehicle. I bought it from a dealer that bought it as a flood vehicle, and we're going to try and fix it on the channel. So it only has 80,000 miles on it. Those things are known for going 300,000-400,000 miles. So that's why I have so many. I like them. They're good. They're reliable. They're easy to work on, and they're arguably the best platform that Honda ever came out with. So that's why I have so many nerdy Honda elements. I just like them. I can throw the mountain bike on. I've got one that's dedicated for going to the bike trails and doing outdoor stuff, kayaking, stuff like that. I don't just sit here at the farm all day, every day. I just don't do it. John, there will be a video. So John Cameri, I think is how you say it, asked, do you still have the Ford Raptor? No. And there's a video coming out about that very soon. I replaced it with the Toyota FJ. And that is my go-to-town vehicle, I guess you could say. So, yeah, that's it. That's why I have so many elements, and the Ford Raptor is long gone. Now, my conscience would not let me sell that Ford Raptor before I knew it was right. So I got everything fixed on it, and I drove it for at least a month prior to putting it up for sale, just to make sure everything was right. And I offered it to my friends also, my local friends, and nobody bought it. So, yeah. Are KEI trucks legal in North Carolina? Better than Honda Element or side-by-side replacement? I don't know what a KEI truck is. Is that one of those little mini trucks? Joy Jones in the house. Let's see. Oh, come on. There we go. I don't know what a KEI. Roy, tell me what a KEI truck is. Yep. So we can't cry over the spilled milk here that's gone on, but what we can do is control our own reactions and control who we're blaming and control what's going on here in our minds, and stop making conspiracy speculations right out the gate here, and let's find out what went on. So Japanese trucks less than 600 cc, says Roy. I am a 6'5", 235-pound dude, man. I rode in those mini trucks. We used them on the airfield when I was in the military. I rode in them. I know what they are. They're too small, and they're not going to replace a Honda Element that'll run 85 down the highway. They're just not going to replace it. I'm not going to drive to a farm show in Louisville, Kentucky from North Carolina in a mini truck. There's no way. Side-by-side replacement? Yeah, maybe so. But, you know, the suspension on a side-by-side is designed to get out and run in this really rough terrain. The suspension on a Japanese mini truck is not. So I'm too big for that thing. Anyone who's been tackle briefing knows you should cover the high grounds. Again, guys, we can all speculate, but I think jumping the gun and pointing fingers and placing blame immediately it's not the right thing to do. And we've got to sit back and we've got to wait a little bit. And I think, again, a knee-jerk reaction to this is wrong. I just think it is. So what went on is a failure of security. I mean, I couldn't argue with you there. I don't know. So can't argue with you there. So anyway, you guys are, again, this is open discussion for sure. But I just don't think it's appropriate to have a knee-jerk reaction just yet. There's probably tons of information out there right now. And hopefully Mr. Trump comes out and talks about it. I hate it for him. We're not choosing sides here. We're not choosing Democrat. We're not choosing Republican. We're not choosing. You guys choose your side that you want to be on. I'm not going to choose sides here, but I do think that the situation is absolutely horrible that's gone on. And you know, it's not good for a social media guy like me or anybody in the entertainment industry, anybody like that, to just come out and just choose to say something that's inappropriate. That's my opinion. So that's it. Gonna stop in Paris on your way to Louisville next trip. I might, man. When K9 Striker, you've hit me up a few times about stopping in and seeing you. When I'm on the road and burning it up to try and get to a show like that, I am going. There we go. Freedom Farm. I choose privacy, freedom, and liberty. Thank you. That's couldn't have put it better myself. Absolutely. Farm question. Farm question. Had a single baby chick raised by her mama. When can we put them back in the coop with the others? When that chick is old enough to defend itself and or run away from the other ones, because you're going to have a distinct pecking order. The best way to probably do that, if you've got one chick with a mama hen, is just keep those two together or introduce one at a time. So introduce one adult chicken at a time to mama and hen, mama and chick, mama and chick. If you put that mother hen in with that baby chick, you're risking that chick's life. So you've got to think about that, okay? Got to think about that. Yep. 2 witnesses have come forward revealing was pointed out to the, yeah. I don't know. We're going to find out a lot, guys, and I think it's a worthwhile discussion for sure. We're all going to find out a lot as time goes on, but there's not a lot that we can do again to speculate about this. We just have to sit back and see what information comes forward, and what information is the right information versus, you know, we've just got to sit tight and see that. A lot of people left when I said it's not right for for me to discuss my politics here. I just choose not to. I choose, like the other comments said, I choose privacy. I choose freedom. What was that comment? I choose liberty. I don't believe that our country should be divided. I think that we should all be. I think together we're a much better place than if we're divided. So that's it. Scott H says we had 6 inches of rain here in Kansas. Tomatoes are not doing too good. We'll take 3 inches of your rain. I think we're down 8 inches here. It's really, really bad. Did you get new tires on that Honda Element? Yep, Brady, sure did. You probably just saw the video. I think I just released that on Facebook this morning. So absolutely. Just stay positive. Yeah, exactly. That's what SE Solar says. Just remain positive, guys. Just try and we've all got to sort this out in our head. This is a very strange time, and it's very unfortunate. So absolutely. Are you still happy with TYM tractors? Asked Eugene. Yeah, I'm really happy. I am talking about doing a bit of a downsizing of machines here on the farm. I've got to have a big tractor to pull this big old Woods Batwing mower right here. We're going to fire that thing up. Might as well give her a little RPM, and I'm letting the tractor warm up right now. Let's give her a little RPM. Fire that mower up. There we go. Liberty over security principle. Yep. Together we stand. There you go. Tropical storm dumped. Barrel dropped a lot of rain. The state of Maine. Isn't that crazy? So anyway, I'm thinking about downsizing. My idea is to downsize and to get one tractor that's a good universal tractor for doing everything, and then having a spare tractor without a loader on it. And I'm thinking about upgrading from my current skid steer over to a cab skid steer. Kubota SVL 75.3. That's what I'm thinking. So, yeah. It's so hot, my garlic took its clothes off. Says Charlie. That's pretty funny. Yep, exactly, Susan. That's it. Nobody deserves any of this, despite their politics. And I think we live, I don't know, was it like this years ago, guys? You know, as a younger man, I just don't remember everything, every decision, everything being so politicized. I'm switching you over to my little magnet camera right here. I just don't remember it like that. Has it been like that, or has this all been influenced by the news media? Tell me what you think. I mean, I just don't remember it being like this. I honestly don't. Let's see. There we go. The third party opinion. Nothing was the way it is now. I can't remember it being like this in Stony Springs. I can't remember it being like this either. I got to take these shades off so that I can see my my mowing. we're gonna get busy mowing. I just thought I'd take you guys along with me, and again, we can have conversation as we mow here, and hopefully I don't hit the fence. All right, got our loader up. Again, I'm super happy with the TYM tractor. Still, I've had no real issue, knock on wood, with these machines. They've all been fantastic. Let's see if I can get my door to shut. Yeah, got it. It must have been so hot in the cab that the door was swollen. So all I'm doing right now, and what's funny is I'm complaining because it's so dry and because the grass isn't growing, and I'm out here mowing. What I'm doing, the cows were in here about 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and I'm clipping the top out of the weeds, the tops of the weeds. It's funny that the weeds aren't affected as much as the good grasses. So the cool season grasses are dying off or drying up while the weeds are taking over, and that's what happens sometimes when it's really dry like this. So just the nature of what we got going. I'm raising up the loader arm right now, and you guys will see me. I'm going to cut a hard right turn right now. We're going to get as close to the fence as we possibly can, and I got to keep a close eye on everything. Put my loader back down. When you run a batwing mower like this, and I've got a review coming out, I think it's next week, on the Woods batwing. When you run a batwing mower like this, you really have to keep an eye on things, because you can tear down your fence, you can hit trees, you can take out all kinds of stuff. And again, we're trying to just clip out the tops of the weeds here versus mowing the field for beautification purposes or anything like that. We just don't want our weeds to seed out. So we'll stop and take a look at your comments here again in just a second, as soon as I get away from these fences. A little close, a little tight right there. A little tight right there too. There we go. We've got a lot of dog fennel here on the farm. I've changed my grazing plan here on the Stony Ridge farm. You know, I've been rotationally grazing, intensively rotationally grazing my animals on the farm for several years now. When it comes to this drought and super dry times like this, I can't do that. I can't move cows onto land and put that much pressure on them. So what I'm doing is taking all 55 cows and I'm putting them on plots of land that are between 10 and 25 acres, so that they have access to shade, they've got access to plenty of water, and that the cows don't get heat stress. And heat stress is a big deal. I've got a video coming out about heat stress in livestock here very soon. Heat stress for me, heat stress for the cattle, heat stress for the chickens, heat stress for the dogs, heat stress for everything. It's just been absolutely horrible. I've got a good neighbor. His name is John, good friend of mine, and he helps me with my heat stress. He's got a swimming pool. If not, I think I'd be in the pond. Let's read through a few of your comments here. I'm not in the tractor mowing. I'm out in the tractor mowing nothing but chicory and milkweed. I wish I had some chicory here on the farm. Chicory is a natural dewormer. I actually bought some chicory seed to plant last fall and didn't plant it. Shame on me. Shame on me. So tell me, guys, where are you watching from? What you been up to today? Is it super dry where you live? I know somebody just said in Kansas they just got 6 inches of rain and it's damaging their crops there. It's a crazy time for the weather events here, and I think if you have cattle, if you've got livestock, sheep, goats, cows, whatever it is that you have, I think if you haven't bought or made arrangements for your wintertime hay for the year, you better get on it pretty quick, because it looks like here in North Carolina where I live, it looks like we may not have a second cutting of hay, which would effectively double the price of hay in this area. That is crazy. That is crazy. It's already $50 for a round bale. That's just Absolutely crazy. If you guys like this kind of video, do you like coming along with me as I work and we have a little conversation? Please let me know. Hit that like button while you're in there. We are live on Facebook. We're on the Cows and Coffee live stream channel, and we're live over on YouTube right now. So, all right. Just got food, rain in the southeast of where you are. Yeah. Not good. Food. Not food, good. There you go. I enjoy the videos. Thank you, Bailey. Bone dry here in Idaho. Triple digits. Idaho's had some record temperatures over the last little bit. I think Boise, Idaho, this past week, you can corroborate this story, but Idaho has had record temperatures. I think over 100, triple digits, like over 109, 110 degrees in Boise, Idaho area. That's not a common thing. That is high country. Now, Boise, Idaho is kind of high desert country. Would you consider it high desert? Who's Brady? I'm guessing you're from Idaho. Would you consider that high desert country out there? Susan says I'm in Johnson City, Tennessee, headed to the pool. I'm going to go to the pool after this, I think, after I get done mowing. Again, if you guys are just now joining us, this is kind of an open conversation, and I really want you guys to talk amongst yourselves also here in the comments about what's going on over the past 24 hours in our country, in our politics. I really hate that this has all gone on, but there's nothing I can do about it right now. I do say that having a knee-jerk reaction to this kind of thing is probably not going to be for the best. And I will say this, that there's never, good can never come from hatred. You know what I mean? So I don't know what's going to come of this over the next few weeks or months, but I will say that my strongest belief is that we'll never ever get anything good out of hatred. We just simply won't. What we got here? Let me stop for a second. Bjorn says, I want get some chickens. Get some, brother. Get some. It's kind of a tough time of year to start raising baby chicks, especially as hot as it is. If you've got a brooder, you'd have to keep it inside. It's too hot, honestly, to where I raise my baby chicks. It's too hot for them right now. I mean, the heat index here today, it's probably 95 degrees by now. This is the hottest part of the day, and the heat index is over 100 degrees. So, very blessed. Again, thank you to TYM Tractors for working with me in the past, and I'm very blessed to have this nice cab air-conditioned machinery that I can sit here and talk to you guys. I'm thinking about moving the camera to right here. What do you guys think? You're kind of right beside me, but I'm thinking about moving the camera to a better place so I can read your comments. I can't see anything. Let's see what that does. Will it stay put? That's the question. I think it might. Maybe it'll stay put. Hanging in the pool listening because I don't have a cab on my tractor, says Peterson Farms of Nashville. That's awesome. All right, we got to figure this out. There's a will, there's a way here. There's got to be a way to stick you guys in a place that you won't fall off. You see it falling? Maybe I just put it right there. Scott H says, when we had hot days, we put frozen water bottles in the coop, sometimes had a fan. Chickens are tropical animals, man. As long as they've got a good shady spot to hang out, they should be just fine. When it comes to baby chicks in the brooder, and they cannot maintain their body temperature, they can't regulate their body temperature, that's when it gets dangerous. So the younger the bird, just like people, just like children, just like baby cows, same thing, calves, sheep, all that. It's one and the same. You just got to use a little bit of common sense. I've got some Osage orange trees. You'll see me passing by. I planted probably 15 Osage orange trees out in the middle of the pasture. I don't know how they'll do, but I hope they do well. I planted walnuts on the other side of the farm over here. So, what we got here? Dwight says, it's so hot you could fire a hamburger without a grill. You could fry, yep. Denise in the house, good to have you. It's so hot that here we are on a Sunday afternoon, and most people are probably thinking about taking a nap, or probably just like me. I encourage folks to not watch the mainstream media, but I've been watching the mainstream media over the last few days. I've been watching MSNBC, NBC, Fox, CNN, all that. I've been trying to figure out what on earth is going on. Just a scary time for us in this country. I don't know. When something like this happens, it doesn't just make one person or one party look bad. It's so unfortunate for the victims. You know, when it comes down to it, that's the most horrible part of this. The innocent bystanders that are there. Everybody's an innocent bystander, but it's so unfortunate that this has to affect everyone, and it makes us look bad to the world. Honestly, I'm trying to get around this little oak tree right here. That's what I think. It just kind of makes us look bad to the world. Kind of a tight squeeze. You see me, I'm just circling that tree right there. Oh, there we go. This tractor is a shuttle shift tractor, meaning there's a handle right here, a little orange handle that I shuttle back and forth to go forward or reverse. And the little pasture we're mowing right here it's probably around an acre, maybe an acre and a half. And then we're going to head up right over here, and that's about 2.5 acres. So what I do, you know, whether you know it or not, managing the farm takes a lot of time, but honestly, managing the video production of what we do here on the farm, of what I do here on the farm, takes up way, way more time than actual farming. I'd say 52 weeks in a year, if you did a 52-week year, I would say that 20 weeks, maybe 15 total weeks are dedicated to actual farming activities, and the other part of it is dedicated to creating the content, editing, reviewing stuff, answering comments, and just being active with you guys, because I didn't start doing videos, social media. I didn't start this to be a famous farmer. I started this because I thought people would want to know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and how I'm doing it, so that maybe we could all learn from my mistakes and learn from the things that I did right. And believe me, I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. Absolutely. One mistake I can't help right now is the fact that we aren't getting any precipitation. So it's pretty sad. Pretty sad. Do you use an editor, says James, when MSN says from loud noise? Okay. Do I use an editor? Roy, I think that's the same thing that I'm singing. We need unity in our country. We need Americans to be Americans, and stop having to pick sides and say, you know, it's almost treated like a sports team now. And to me, that's just not right. That's not what I thought of as freedom when I was a younger man. And it's still not what I think of as freedom. I think we all need to work together. All right, somebody asked a question and I totally forgot what it was, but it was a good one. Hold on, let me scroll back up here. do you use an editor? So I have a guy that helps me edit. His name is Josh also. You've seen him in some videos. He's in the race car video that came out just the other day. Josh travels with me to farm shows and hardware shows and stuff like that, and he helps me to film because it's really difficult to do all that filming and editing. Josh is basically a full-time editor for me. And then I have another company that edits also. If you follow on Facebook, you'll see once in a while some of the older content pops back up. And it looks a little different. And it's filmed a little different. It's been re-edited, okay? So I've got, I guess, for lack of better terms, the farm feeds people, and what I do here on social media feeds families too. So Josh has a home and a family, and I'm just truly blessed to be surrounded by great people like that. So he's probably not watching. I think he's on vacation this week. So hopefully he's enjoying his vacation. I'm sure he gets so tired of hearing me. What we're seeing is not political. It's to promote a bad agenda, says SE Solar. I don't know. I think a lot of us, and we can have this very serious discussion. I think a lot of us, and I published a video last week trying to inspire folks to understand that success in life and success in business and success in your home doesn't come naturally, automatically, and it doesn't come from luck. Maybe a little luck, I will say. Maybe a little bit of luck, maybe a little bit of perseverance, maybe a little bit of hard work. It doesn't just come from magic rainbows that fall out of the sky in your lap and you're all of a sudden successful. And if you're out there buying lottery tickets every week on payday, let me tell you, you'd be better off just jumping off. I don't know. You'd be better off swimming in a mud hole than you would be buying that lottery ticket and wasting that money. That's not the way. And then 1 out of how many billion people win the lottery? I mean, come on. If you're doing scratch-off tickets because it's fun and you enjoy it as a game, that's great. If you've got a problem and you think you might have a problem, if you've ever bought a lottery ticket and said to yourself, man, I ain't doing this again, this is a waste of money. Well, you're right, okay? Your inner self is telling you you're right. So don't do it again. Don't do it. We've got something here in North Carolina called the North Carolina Education Lottery, okay? So the North Carolina Education Lottery, in my humble understanding here, is supposed to help with our education system. All right, have we seen improvements? I don't know. I honestly don't know. If any of you guys work for the lottery, please let me know. But again, the swift kick in the boo-boo is about all you're going to get out of a lottery ticket, man. And I see it every Friday. I live in a place, every Friday, Saturday, weekend, whatever. I live in a place that is not the highest incomes in the country, and land prices are cheap, and I live in rural North Carolina, and I see this after everybody's worked so hard all week long, and I see them in the line at the convenience store when I'm getting gas or whatever, and I see them buying lottery tickets, and then they'll take them out in the parking lot and they'll scratch them like a scratch-off lottery ticket, and come back in after they won $1 or $2 or $5. And then they'll go buy another ticket, and they'll just keep buying them until they lose all their money. Does that seem right? It's just another way to be taxed, isn't it? It's just another way to be taxed. I don't know. You guys tell me. Brady Jones says, I like watching your videos from when you first started now and how your farm has evolved. Had a dream and went for it. Thank you, Brady. Going swimming, Scott. Hot in Kansas. What do you guys think? I want your opinions on lottery tickets. This is an open discussion here. There's a reason why you don't see wealthy people in the gas station buying lottery tickets or going to the lottery ticket machine at the grocery store and buying lottery tickets. There's a reason why you don't see that. There is, and I'm not trying to be down on anybody that does that. If you like it and that's your thing, then go for it. But it ain't odds of you getting rich from that versus just getting out and working hard and thinking and planning. The odds of being successful from thinking, working, and planning are much higher than they are from buying a lottery ticket. I will buy probably 10 lottery tickets a year, and it's something that I do around Christmas time, and I give them as gifts. Now, if you want to really make somebody mad, give them a fake lottery ticket. You can go on Amazon and buy fake winning lottery tickets, and that makes for a funny or quite disappointing Christmas gift. I'll tell you a funny story. One of my cousins, we do Christmas, we're a very tight-knit family. One of my cousins, what we do is called Dirty Santa every Christmas. And when we do Dirty Santa, everybody spends like $35 in the family, and we all draw names and stuff like that. And it's just really fun. We're kind of cutthroat. We love picking on each other. And we do that Dirty Santa thing. And my cousin got a lottery ticket, a fake lottery ticket, like 2 or 3 fake lottery tickets, I think. And my cousin's not the most wealthy guy in the world, and he's got a family and he's got kids, and he scratched one of these lottery tickets and he won like some crazy amount, like $10,000 or $20,000 on a scratch off lottery ticket. And he was so happy and so excited and was not even suspicious at all that my uncle had bought fake lottery tickets and that he had won on a fake lottery ticket. He got up and left Christmas. It made him so angry that he just got up and left Christmas. So what I'm saying here is that ill-gotten riches or quick wealth tends to leave quickly also. Like I said, you don't see people that make very good financial decisions. In most cases, you don't see them lined up to buy lottery tickets every payday. It's just, I don't know. And I hate that any part of society would think that it's luck that makes a person successful. It's work and luck. What we're doing right now, and I'm going to get lucky, hopefully, and not hit the fence. I got to raise the mower deck up, and I got to squeeze through this little spot right here, and it's a little bit too tight for me to get the mower in there. So let's see if I can do it without hitting the fence. Put her down in low gear. The TYM tractor, I'm losing a lot of you because I'm talking about the lottery tickets thing. I'm a teacher on sabbatical. I just won the lottery. I'm here to buy a tractor. Ha ha ha. I've only bought one small lottery ticket in my life. I'll say, me and a group of guys, we do get together, and we buy, when the big Mega Millions thing is up there, like $1 billion, we do it for fun, for sport, and we always lose. But, which one is it? That one. We do it for fun, we do it for sport, and we always lose. We pretty much know we're going to lose. But if you're doing it every week out of your paycheck, there's a better way to do. I mean, that's just my thought process, and it kind of saddens me whenever I go into a local convenience store and I see someone that's putting all their hopes and dreams into a lottery ticket when really they could be putting their hopes and dreams into something that's worthwhile. So that's it. That's my lottery ticket rant for the day. So we're right here by some more hay bales. These are the hay bales that will be in the pasture. They'll be rolled out on the pasture this fall. Sorry, I got to babysit this for just a second. When you've got a batwing mower, the mower sticks out about 6 feet over to the side, and I've got to get as close as I can to these hay bales without hitting a hay bale. It's kind of fun. Lottery is a tax on the poor, says Hillbilly Haven. You didn't hear it come out of my mouth, brother, but I think you may have hit the nail right on the head. Thomas says, I watched your video recently about privilege and getting started farming. I've been blessed with a family, 50 acres of land, but it's still a struggle. Amen, brother. Amen. We talk about this a lot on the channel, and I get picked apart a lot by some viewers as to whether the farm is making money yet. And I'll tell you right now, if it weren't for my stepfather cleaning out his barn and that $2,200 worth of hay that I fed last month, if it wasn't for that, I mean, we'd be a losing enterprise this year. Absolutely. I think a lot of folks feel like 150 acres you should be able to earn a living off of. And the reality is that it's very, very difficult. There's a lot of hurdles that you have to overcome in the farm world. Drought, dry weather, poor grass, poor hay, equipment failures, equipment costs, all this stuff goes into it. So make no mistake about it, the farm is just a spoke. Oh, sorry, I'm running over some sticks. The farm is a spoke in a wheel here. And that wheel includes what I do here on social media, the content that I create. I'm very blessed to have been successful at it, and I'm super happy. And like I said, I would say blessed more than luck, more than anything. You've got to be able to stick your neck out there, and you've got to be ready to fail. I mean, you got to be ready to accept failure and move on from failure to make yourself succeed in life. In anything. I don't care if you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, if you're a mailman, a garbage man, a janitor, or some idiot like me riding around the tractor talking to you guys on the on the internet. You've got to stick your neck out. You've got to be strong. You've got to be prepared to fail. And you will see that the people that success and failure go hand in hand. And the people that you see in your life that have failed the most are most likely, if they continue to try, they continue to learn from those failures, they will most likely be more successful. So that's my experience, I guess. And I started my first business when I was 21 years old. Philip the Wise, what's up, brother? I've been looking for land in Southern Virginia. A 10-acre average is not what I consider cheap land. $10K an acre is not what my land here on this farm that you see me mowing, this portion of land cost $2,000 an acre. I didn't have no fences, and it needed a lot of work, okay? But we still had some timber. We made a little bit of money off the timber, started clearing land, putting down grass seed, stuff like that. I agree, $10,000 an acre is expensive. Absolutely. The more rural you go, the less expensive it's going to be. Back in the 50s, my grandpa bought land, and it's rumored that land around here was like $3 an acre back then. $3 and $4 an acre. You guys that have family farms that have been passed down generation to generation, do you have any records? Do you have any information on what it cost back when your great-grandfather, or great-grandmother, great-great-grandfather, years and years ago, what they paid for their land? It's interesting to go back and look at those old titles. I've gone to the county building over here and pulled up my farm and looked and went all the way back to the 1800s where the deeds were written in paper, and they were from such and such a rock to such and such a mulberry tree. I mean, it's really interesting to find out the history of your land if you get a chance to do that, even if it's a 10-acre plot. So, stop for a second. With all the work you've done, it's starting to look like a golf course. It's looking nice. Any good TV shows you've been watching when you get time? Says Scott H. Scott, you're going to laugh. Okay, we got 210 people in here. What TV shows do you think? Give me your top TV show you think Stony Ridge Farmer watches on his off time. once we get a few of those comments rolling through, I'll share, and you guys are gonna laugh. I mean, I'm a child of the. We'll start with this. I am a child of the '90s. I grew up in the '90s. I was born in the '70s. A child of the '80s, I guess, and a teenager of the '90s. The kind of music that I listen to, the kind of shows that I watch, I think are most certainly reflective of the time that I grew up. They say that the music that you like in your life is 100% dependent upon when you first fell in love. The first time you fell in love, that's the music. The music that you were listening to when you first fell in love is the music that you'll always appreciate throughout life. All right, Yellowstone, no. I don't watch Yellowstone. How many of you guys are in love with Yellowstone? I can't watch it. It's just too much drama. Too much drama. Andy Griffith? Yeah. Heck yeah. I've watched every episode of Andy Griffith at least 10 times, I'd say. Start to finish, all the way through the whole series. I mean, that's right here. That's Carolina. You're hitting home with that. Good to Beaver, or no? Friends or Buffy, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Okay, here we go. Yes, Friends. Okay, I'll admit it. Why is the mower off? We've gotten sidetracked, kids. I hit my elbow on the PTO button. We started talking about Yellowstone and my mower just quit immediately because it automatically knew that everything there was fake. I am a Kevin Costner fan. I don't think Kevin Costner is in Yellowstone anymore, is he? You guys watch that? It's probably not smart of me to be looking this way instead of back that way. My mower's still going though. That's good. Friends. All right, here it is. I'm a fan of political satire. I'm a fan of people being silly and making fun of themselves. I am a fan of South Park. I like watching South Park in the evening times because it's just mindless junk. So I do like that. Again, I'm a child of the 90s. I was a teenager in the 90s. That came out in the 90s, and it's still going on. I think we're in like 25 or 28 seasons. So I like to watch that for a little, that's kind of raunchy comedy relief. I also like, there's a show that they only did 3 seasons of, and it is very foul. The language is quite foul, but it's called Deadwood. Any of you guys watch Deadwood? Deadwood was a fantastic show. Next time I'm out west, I will be visiting Deadwood, South Dakota. Any of you guys ever watch Deadwood? The movie, the series, any of that stuff? A little tight right here. Hang on. All right. Oh, I got to get around. This is my water tank. You're seeing it right there. You guys want to look in the water tank and see what the goldfish are doing? I think I want to see what the goldfish are doing. You guys want to see what the goldfish are doing? Love South Park, says Scott H. Wonder Years. You know, I don't watch the. Is the Wonder Years on the Amazon Prime or Netflix? Yes to Deadwood. The Deadwood series was so I don't even know how to describe it. It just seems so real. King of the Hill. I'll tell you what. I like King of the Hill too. Let's hop out real quick. You guys want to see? That 70s show is great too, Roy. You guys want to see what the goldfish are doing in the water tank? Ugh. All right, here we go. Hey, goldfish. They always hide when I come up. So if I just drive by, the goldfish are always just hanging out right up on the top of the water. when I get out and go over there, they run and hide. You know, us teenagers of the 90s, gosh, that stupid door. There we go. Being a teenager of the 90s and seeing the way that things are nowadays, it was so not nearly as politically correct back in those days. And I catch myself saying things from the 90s that I probably shouldn't say sometimes. I guess just old sayings. Duke's a hazard. Yep. Bugs Bunny. Oh, man. Stony Springs says it looks good. Looks great out there. I'm going to tell you, brother, it has been super dry. I need every one of you guys to do a rain dance for me or pray for rain or whatever it is you want to do. We are in very, very desperate times as it comes to having some precipitation here on the farm. It is super, super dry. It's to the point where the leaves are starting to fall off of the poplar trees. And this happened last year also. The honeybees, there aren't enough flowers. Right now it's so dry, there aren't enough flowers to really sustain the honeybees. So I haven't been able to harvest honey this year. Sourwood trees are typically blooming this time of year, but we need water to produce nectar, and we just aren't getting the water that we need. See me, I'm working here. All right. There's a mega shop back there behind us. Did I? Yeah, we walked over there and turned off the sprinkler. No use in watering this time of day. It's just too hot. How are the trees you planted doing? Home Improvement and Family Matters. I like Home Improvement. I've never watched Family Matters. The trees that I planted are doing good. Some of them have died because of this heat, and some of them have really thrived. The walnut trees that I planted, most all of those, I think I planted 25, and I got those from Food Forest Nursery. Food Forest Nursery. If you go online, you can find those guys. We partnered up with Food Forest Nursery, and we're going to be doing a biannual tree planting here on the farm. I realized we cut a lot of trees off of this property when I first bought it, simply because cattle don't eat trees. Cattle don't graze trees. Cattle graze pasture. We're incorporating some silvopasture into our operation here, which means that basically that the cows will graze under the trees in the forest. And I really, honestly, if you're buying property and you're considering cutting the timber, you really, really need to think hard about that. 10 years ago, where we're at right now was a forest. Are we talking about the rainforest and deforestation here? No, we're not talking about that. What we're talking about is this was forest land, but it was crop land beforehand. I've got a warning light that just came on my tractor for my DEF fluid. So we'll have to shut it down here in a minute. We're not going to be able to finish this field. I'm going to do one more lap with you guys, and then we'll ski-daddle. I guess we've got to go to the local Walmart and get us some DEF fluid. This is the second time I've had to put DEF fluid in this tractor since I've owned it, and I've had it for nearly 4 years. It's got about 264 hours on it. Welcome, Mountain Man. Is Eustace in here? Eustace ain't in here, is he? That'd be interesting. You know, I made friends along the way here, guys, and one of my good buddies. Did you guys ever watch the Mountain Man TV show? I happened to run into a local North Carolina resident. I say local, he lives about 2 hours away from me. His name is Eustace Conway. Very, very interesting fellow. He holds the world record for riding a horse across the United States twice, I do believe. Very interesting fellow, that's for sure. Been very blessed to have met someone like Eustace Conway. And if If you guys don't know, I try to give to his charity every single year. For those of you who are following on Patreon, just so you guys know, we're waiting on government approval to ship out my beef to you. I've got the boxes, I've got the bags, I've got everything that needs to be done. I've got the beef here, everything but approval. So as soon as all this approval stuff goes through, hopefully it'll be in the fall. I wouldn't want to mail beef in temperatures like this. I think it's probably the wrong thing to do. It'd be a little bit too risky, but hopefully this fall, when the weather starts cooling off, we are going to set our first ship date for beef right off, farm fresh beef right off the Stony Ridge farm. So Roy, to answer your question, for those of you who are Patreon members and you are waiting for me to announce when we're going to ship beef, it is coming soon. Your donations on Patreon are not going to go to me. This year, your donations on Patreon are going to go to Eustace Conway's camp, Turtle Island, to help benefit him. And so far, we probably raised right at about $1,000. So I think it's a very good cause. If you guys have any objection to it, just please understand that I think it's a very noble cause. And what it does is it gets children outside and it teaches them about life and seasons and land. It gives them life skills, how to start a fire without matches, that kind of stuff. It's a very good program that Eustace has there at Turtle Island. You can go to Turtle Island, I think it's .org, or you can just Google search Turtle Island. They have events there all the time. Right now they're doing a father-son camp, and they don't exclude anybody. So if it's a mother-daughter, it's still a father-son. So they don't exclude anyone. It's a great camp. And it's just good to get the kids outside, get them away from these electronic things, get them outside, and let them learn something. All you guys here, there's 189 of you watching the channel right now. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. If you're on Facebook and you have been invited to follow, click accept that invitation. All you do is get notified when I post a video. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. Somebody asked, how much beef do you get from one cow? How to approach this. I need to put my glasses back on because I might have to do math. I can't see anything. It's dangerous. Typically, let's just say we took an 1,100 pound steer to the butcher, and the weight, the processing cost is based upon the hanging weight of that animal. The hanging weight is the weight of the animal minus the hide, so minus the fur and the skin, which is pretty heavy on a large animal like that, 60 pounds or so, something like that, minus the intestinal portion that we don't use. Now, we pretty much use every organ meat we possibly can. I've got a freezer chock full of liver and hearts and kidneys and all kinds of stuff. And we'll do some videos, some Food Friday videos pretty soon on how to cook those. But it's extremely important to understand that an 1,100 pound cow might bring 600 to 650 pounds of beef hanging weight, okay? Something like that. So it's not all that much. And last year I processed three steers, and that beef is still 80% of it is still 60% of it is still in the freezer. I have been selling beef locally. If you're local here to North Central North Carolina, you're welcome to email me. I haven't had any trouble selling beef. It's been fantastic. I do have trouble in my local area because I think people just don't see the difference. Rural country folk on a fixed income would rather just go buy their beef at Walmart. We call it blue label, green label, whatever. A lot of people don't discern the difference between grass-fed, high-quality beef and feedlot beef that's shipped all over the country, and cows that are medicated and given antibiotics and steroids. I mean, they're fed antibiotics in their food. To me, that's inherently wrong. And that's part of the reason why we have a lot of pathogens that are antibiotic resistant. I'm still a registered nurse, guys, and I still keep my license up, and I still keep up with the medical world. I've still got friends of mine that are doctors, and we talk about this kind of stuff. So there's a big difference in the stuff that you buy at the feedlot versus buying off of a farm like this, where we're not medicating our animals. We're treating the sick if we have a sick animal, and we're not treating the well. We don't want to treat the well. We want to treat the sick if they're sick. And so far, knock on steering wheel here, on the Stony Ridge farm, we've had cows for 4 years now, going on right at 4 years, and I've lost 3 calves and 1 adult. 3 calves and 1 adult. And the reason I lost the 3 calves, one calf, I bought at the market, and that calf, there's a rock right here, hang on. Yeah, I need to get that up in a minute. Lost 1 calf because when I went to the cattle market and I bought my cows, I bought a cow-calf pair. Well, some immoral person put a calf with a mama cow that didn't belong to that mama cow. And I didn't know it. The calf was following with the mama cow. The mama cow was seemed to be taking care of it, but I never saw the calf nurse. Well, one day I left town, and when I left town, it was up to, I'll just say it was up to Miss Stony Ridge, who is no longer here with me, but it was up to her to take care of the animals. And there was 2 water tanks. Now, I knew this little calf was a hot time of year, just like it is now. And there were 2 water tanks, and I knew she needed to keep the small water tank full and the big water tank full. We only had 4 animals at that time. All you had to do is run a water hose out there and keep them topped off. A couple times a day, in the morning, go fill it up, and mid-afternoon, go fill it up. Evidently, the smaller water tank, and calves do this. So to her defense, it's not her fault. I don't blame her, but I don't think that the water tanks were kept full. The calf got over in the big water tank because there was no water in the little water tank. Calves do that, okay? And if any of you guys have experienced raising calves, they like to get into water. They like to get into trouble, and it's your job as the farmer to make sure that they don't. So I came home from my trip. It was on a business trip, and I came home from my trip. The young calf, who was placed with the wrong mother, was already not thriving very well, and it somehow got over into the water tank and couldn't get out. And that calf drowned or died in that much water. And it wasn't that, I mean, it was months old. So not cool at all. It happens. I lost a mama and a baby during giving birth here on the farm. It happened so quickly. It was an overnight birth. There was no sign of this cow getting ready to calve. I don't put them up in a barn and calve them. These aren't dairy cows. These are really robust animals that typically have no trouble birthing. And it was right over here where we're parked under the shade tree where I lost that calf and mama cow. It was very unfortunate, and there was absolutely nothing that I could have done. I came up in the morning, and there she was. I mean, in 4 or 5 and 6 hours, I guess, 7 hours, something like that, I'd lost that cow and calf. And then we lost 1 more calf at birth. So that's it. And that was Susie, the number 10 cow. The calf just didn't survive birth. That was it. Brenda says, I lost a most wonderful 4-H raised side of beef when our power went out while we were away. Organically raised beef is so worth the money. How did you lose a cow when the power went out? I think we're all getting ready to learn a lesson here. Brenda, how did that happen? Was this a cow that stayed in the barn and it was used to air conditioning or something? How did that happen? Please tell us so we don't make that mistake, because there's probably a lesson for all of us to learn here. 199 of you in here. Hit that like button, guys. I got 55 likes. Sure is nice of you. Hit that like button right there. We're waiting on Brenda to share that with us. Let's look back through your comments. Freedom Farm's asking some questions here. Grew up Highway Patrol, Lassie, and Hillbillies. I like Beverly Hillbillies. Grizzly Adams. I haven't seen that in forever. You know, that's a good show. Is it called Grizzly Adams? I used to watch that every Saturday morning. How many pounds of blood meal and bone meal would an 1,100-pound cow get you? I have absolutely no clue, brother. No clue. Seems like that could go back into the soil. We don't have our bones ground up. I don't know that you can have your bones ground up at the place where I get them processed. Scott H says getting pigs soon. Hopefully I'm getting pigs too. Go fish. From one veteran to another, just want to say thanks for all the motivation continue to give. Thank you, brother. Watch Deadwood and Vacation in the Black Hills. Very cool, Bob. Good afternoon, Denise. The family homestead and land in Florida sadly was sold when the boomers inherited it. All right, I got to shut this tractor down. When your DEF fluid light comes on in your tractor, you better get some DEF fluid in it immediately. So you don't want to run it, and you don't want to run these tractors at idle for very long. I try to take care of my machines, and when it's a turbo machine, this has a turbo on it, I like to let that turbo cool down for about 2 minutes every time. All right, still waiting. Let's see what Brenda says. Side of butchered beef when the freezer shut down. Gotcha. And needed resetting. Now that's a lesson learned. Absolutely. Diesel extortion fluid. I like that. Green Acres is the place to be. Any Minnesotans in the house, says Brian. It's my Minnesota accent. That's all I got. I've had some friends. So I had a buddy of mine that hunted on the farm all winter long last year, all deer season last year. His name was Tim. He came and he hunted, and I said, Tim, I just want, a few packs of beef from a few packs of ground deer meat for making spaghetti and stuff like that. If you guys have never had lasagna or spaghetti with ground deer meat, it's absolutely delicious. Ground venison. And unfortunately, someone unplugged his freezer. I think a carpenter or a plumber was doing some work in the house, unplugged the freezer, and it was unplugged for several days before they noticed it, and it got rotten and rancid and ruined. It was so bad that they loaded the freezer up and threw it away. Like, it was that bad. It was that nasty. It must have been totally full. So I haven't got my deer meat yet. I guess I'll have to get it next year. That's it. Chips. Gosh, you guys are going way back with these shows. Yep. Our calves still dropping. I have 2 more mama cows that I think are going to drop calves. And number 5, she calved it takes 9 months. She calved late last year, and she's calved again. She is a baby producing fool. I love it. Go fetch some eggs, boy. Always wanted to say that. Way to take the Mac out of farming, old Donald. Right on. All right. Yeah, it is a huge loss when you lose a side of beef like that, or you lose any kind of food like that. Everything here is on backup. It's got backup generators, every freezer. If you guys don't know, it's super cheap to buy a freezer alarm and an alarm for your home. So there's I've worked with Simply Safe in the past, but there's another product. I'll do a video about it coming up soon as to how I watch my freezer temperatures. So I can check the temperatures of every freezer in the house. I've got water sensors in my garage, in my kitchen, in my room where my water heater is, and in the room where my washroom is for my clothes, my washer and dryer. I have sensors in there, and if we have a water issue, it can shut it off. That same company makes a Wi-Fi controlled valve. In other words, if it senses water, it will turn the water off in your home, which is super awesome. I had a pipe explode. Gosh, I'm gonna say a couple years back. It's been a couple years. I've been living on OSB in my bedroom for a couple years. A pipe exploded, and a 3/4 inch pipe blew water out at, I don't know, 10 gallons per minute for probably 5 minutes in the house before we could get the water shut off. Very, very disappointing. And I had to, all my floor got ruined. However, it happened at 3 o'clock in the morning. And before I got a phone call about it, I had already gotten a message on my phone. It was like, blah, 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 like alerting me, like water leak, water leak, water leak. So it really, really works. I forget what it's called. I think it's called V-Sync. I'll do a video about it. Freezer alarms are super cheap and absolutely the best insurance ever. Absolutely. 50 gallons total. I'm going to say it was 5 minutes, and it was more than 50 gallons. It filled the whole floor up. It ruined all the flooring in my bedroom and in my closet, and this is the same closet where my clothes were. When I came home, it looked like it was dry, but I could smell. So then I started pulling up flooring, and I pulled up more flooring. I have that laminate flooring in my little mobile home there, and I just had to pull it all up. So Airwolf, Dukes of Hazzard and MacGyver, says Phil's Road. That's funny. 500 gallons. There you go. That's more like it. Yeah, freezer alarms are super important. Absolutely. Do you still have your trail camera? Caught a coyote on mine. I've got Reolink cameras all over the farm that are in real time. So if I get an alert, I can click onto it and see what's going on right then and there. And I've got them in basically every pasture. There's one in this tree back here behind us. Let's see here. See that big, tall oak tree back there in the very background right there? There's a Reolink camera in that. So I can manage and watch this entire pasture. Or me and Rocket 18. Will you guys answer that question for Rocket 18? Are you and Mrs. Stony Ridge still together? There's been no Mrs. Stony Ridge since 2021. We've been divorced since 2021. I haven't spoken to her since about the 3rd of January of this year. It's unfortunate. All this is, it's a super, it's the worst thing. And I think a lot of people have a hard time understanding this, but that's the worst thing that's happened to me in my life. And hopefully I don't have anything worse happen to me. I'm sure we'll all get sick at some point and we'll all need help. But that's the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my life. And through no fault of my own, all that went down. And I can't blame it. Here we are several years later, and I blamed myself for so long. And if any of you guys have ever been through the big D or have relationship issues, I'm sure you can empathize. When you go through something like that, it's just an absolute heart-crushing experience. Have I moved on? Yeah, I have moved on. Am I happy? Absolutely. I'm dating a very nice young lady right now, very pretty, just a great person, someone that I can believe in and trust. And I think that that's super important. I don't know if she'll be on the channel ever, but we'll see. We'll just have to see. So nope, no more Miss Stony Ridge. And I honestly, guys, and this is a little personal, I guess, but I'm going to share it with you. I'm not going to talk to her. I'm just not going to do that. She is who she is, and the situation that's happened, it's happened, and there's nothing that I can do about it. And there's no use in crying over spilled milk. It's unfortunate. Has it made trust issues for me in my life? 100%. Has it caused me to to think poorly of relationships and life and all that. I don't think so. But it is a struggle when you're 46 years old, soon to be 47 in about a week, and you're having to just start over. It's just, you guys have been there. I know a lot of you have been there. I know what 80% of people that have been married have been divorced, right? So, yeah, that's it. Haven't watched in a few years, so I didn't know. It's all right, Rocket 18. Where you been, buddy? We've been missing you. Y'all want to go see the cows? Should we go see the cows? Let's take a vote. We might have a little bit of bad service on the way down there, but I think we should go see the cows. I can hear them over there mooing, and they're going to be fussy when we get over there, guys. They want to be moved really bad. They've still got some good grass to eat in the pasture that they're in, and I'm not going to move them today, but they really want to move pretty bad. Brenda says I was 54. I hear you. It's just, it's sad that two people couldn't find a way to make it work, but it takes two people. You know what I mean? It does take two people. And when only one person's doing it, I mean, I don't want to point fingers. I don't guess. But it does take two. That's it. It always takes two. It always will. Let's turn the camera around here, and we're going to drive across the farm. We're going to drive across the farm without turning the camera around. I've been cleaning up the lot out here whenever I've got time and it's not so roasting hot. This is a building that's going to be my sawmill shed. This is the sawmill. We're going to be building off of the shipping container, and I've got to move the shipping container way over the other side of the farm where we're getting ready to drive. And that's where my sawmill is going to be. Keep it over there, keep it under cover, and take good care of it. Jared's back. What's up, buddy? All right. I guess I can put these back on so I can see what you guys are saying. Hey, I can see it again. I just can't see the road ahead of me. Hold on. I couldn't see where I'm going. I'm going to set you guys down for a second and drive. There's a cloud of dust right there in the driveway. I don't know what that's from. Amazon, maybe? It's going to be bumpy for a minute. Open my gate. There we go. Now I can pick you back up. This is the first time I've had to break out my readers in order to see your comments. Oh, what a day. What a life. I always prided myself on having the best hearing and the best eyesight, but evidently even the Mona Lisa's falling apart. Gorgeous. Still green down here. There's a big old groundhog right down there digging holes so that the cows can step in them. Groundhog is the scourge of the farm. Let's turn the camera around, let you guys see the journey here. Service is a little bit different down in here, a little worse. Squirrels, lots of squirrels. You might see my turkey family. There's a family of turkeys out here. Mama with about 8 little bitties. We call them bitties around here, chicks. What's the technical term for a turkey chick? You guys know what that is? Have you seen those wheels you can add to shipping containers to move them around? I have seen them. I've actually talked to that company. They're expensive. I can't get a shipping container down through here, which is unfortunate. The trailer won't go through here. I wanted to put the sawmill right up on this knoll right here. So my thoughts was to put the sawmill right there, but I can't put it there. Cows are in this pasture we're coming up on right now. You guys are going to hear them mooing here in a second. See what I mean? They want to move. There's plenty of grass out here. You guys have those mayflies, horsefly, mayfly, everything biting me right now. So there's plenty for them to graze out in here. It's a little bit of mixed grasses and Ricci lespedeza, some clover in there. Matthew, I've got a Wood-Mizer LT40 hydraulic sawmill. I'm going to hire the same guy that brought the shipping container out. That's who I'm going to hire to move the shipping container to the other side of the farm. It's probably going to cost me $300, but it's just so well worth it to have the right equipment and the right person come and move it and set it up the way we want it. We found a camper on the peak of a steep mountain deep in the New Hampshire. Anything is possible. You guys hear the cows? Can you hear them? Let's see if we can get them over here. It's kind of shady over here. Woo! That'll get them moving. Come on, babies. Come on. You'll see we have hay, or I have hay stashed up there. I say we, that's us. That's me and you and the cows. I've got hay stashed up on that hillside right there, and that'll be for feeding the cows in this section of pasture. I love the sound of my neighbors, says Brenda. Great spot for unadulterated paintball. Yeah, there's plenty of good paintball spots out here on the farm. I've never done that before. Never done paintball. I did laser tag before, but never paintball. Yep. So all the cows, it's 95 degrees out here, guys, with a heat index of over 100. All the cows are in that shaded spot right there. So they're not going to come out. They're all waiting for the sun to go down just a little bit and cool them off. Let me tell you about the trespassers the other day. Let's see if you guys think my reaction was okay. I didn't film this, and I probably should have filmed this, but I came home the other day from town, and I think I'd gone to Tractor Supply. I was picking up some minerals for the cows. I came home, and there's a Toyota pickup parked in my field, and 3 guys were out there fishing. There was one Caucasian fellow and 2 African-American gentlemen out in fishing in my pond. And there's a big no trespassing sign right there as you walk up the hill. They're parked out in the middle of my field, not on the roadside or anything like that. They just went on and pulled out in the middle of the field. If you know anything about farmers, you don't pull out in the middle of somebody's field. If you know anything about property owners, you don't pull out in the middle of that guy's field. You just don't do it, period. Right? You just don't do it. So what did I do? I pulled up beside these guys, and I got out of the car, and I asked them, this is exactly what I did. Hey, man, you mind if I take this truck and go do some shopping? And all of them looked at each other like, huh? And then looked at me, and they're like, huh? I was like, yeah, you guys are using my pond. Is it okay if I use your truck? I need to go run some errands. I need to hook up to the horse trailer, and I got to pull some things down the road here. Can I use your truck? Is that I'm going to go ahead and use your truck. I didn't ask them if I could. I'm going to go ahead and take your truck, and I'll be back in just a little while. Wait a minute. I was like, dude, there's a no trespassing sign right there. You're standing right beside of it. Is there some confusion as to, is this your land? They're like, well, no. I was like, dude. He's like, but you don't have signs all over everywhere. We just saw this as a nice place to go fishing. They were respectful, and I kind of joked with them a little bit, like, hey, dude, all you had to do was come down the road. You see my house. Just come down the road and put a note on the mailbox. Hey, man, we'd like to go fishing. And, and what I said to them is, I've had people in the past come and leave trash, and the reason I don't let anybody fish is because they always leave some trash. And these guys left trash, even though I told them, don't leave any trash. There were weights, little pinch-on fishing weights all over the dock. There was trash all over the dock. There was grass where they cleaned their hooks off and just slung them on the dock. Um, and I just told them to leave. Is that the right thing to do? What do you think? I just asked them, the basic gist of it, their defense was, well, you don't have any signs up, or we just thought this was okay to fish. We just thought it was public land. And I said, does it look like public land? You see the cows up there, are those public cows? Is this truck public? And they're like, what? I was like, you don't have a sign on your truck that says it's yours, so I assume it's probably everybody's, right? Just like my pond. Anyway, they were respectful, and I told them, guys, you got to get out of here now. You have to leave now. But what you have to do, if you want to come back here and you want to go fishing, you need to put a note on my mailbox or slip it in my mailbox or on my gate down there. And if I'll call you back and we'll discuss what you can do for me as I provide you a place to fish. And does that seem reasonable? And what I said to him, I always need somebody to weed eat around this pond. I need somebody to keep it clean. If you can go around it and weed eat around it, I'd be happy to let you fish. But it's not going to be you and all your buddies. It's going to be you. And that's it. And the first time I catch anybody with buddies, it's over. It's all over. I think that was fair enough. And they were pretty respectful, although they were pretty disrespectful just showing up and doing what they wanted to do. My opinion is this, and you guys can share your opinion here too. Do you need a sign on your front porch to keep people from the street from walking up and sitting on your porch and drinking a beer? No, they know it's not theirs. So why would I need a sign in my front yard saying don't go in my front yard and my pond? I mean, the law is not on the landowner's side in this case. And I don't want to be, I'm not that stingy guy, but those before these fellas ruined it for everyone else. People would come and they would fish and they would leave trash and they would throw trash. They'd hang fishing lines up in the trees. They'd hang fishing lines in the power lines. It just were disrespectful. And that's why I just don't allow people to come and fish and hunt unless they're very, very close friends or family. That's just it. What do you think? What do you guys think about that? Some people really get angry about that, especially sportsmen. They really get angry that someone's being stingy with their land, but little do they know that I've put $100,000 into this pond, like $100,000 worth of clearing, cleaning, grass, upkeep, mowing, seeding, docks, putting fish in, managing the water. Gosh, how much went into this place? They just don't understand. So I took them up on the hill and I sat them down, and I exaggerated a little bit. I took them up the hill. I didn't sit them down. We all stood over and said, I want you guys to take a look at this. And I said, yeah. I'm like, how much you think? What do you think a place like this costs? What do you think it costs to maintain every year? What do you think it costs? And one of them's like, I don't know. Nobody could come up with a figure. And I just threw a figure out there. What you're looking at is $300,000. What? Huh? I was like, yeah, put $2,000 worth of fish in here the other year. There's $300,000 in here. When I bought this place, you couldn't see the pond. You guys got to have some respect. You got to understand that. So, and I think it maybe put things into perspective as to how much work and time it really does take to keep a place like that. Clint Eastwood said it best, get off my lawn. I'm not the get off my lawn guy. I am the get off my lawn guy. When I lived in town, get off my lawn. Don't bring your dog up to my yard and take a poop. You got your own yard. Go poop your dog in your own daggone yard. I did have that trouble when I lived in town. I had neighbors that were super nosy, and they'd always be just standing right out in front of my house. They lived 3 blocks away, and they'd be right in front of my place. And I had the biggest yard in the neighborhood, and they'd be out there pooping their dogs in my driveway. Bro, this ain't the park, man. What do you guys think? Have you ever had that? If you live in town, have you had issues with your neighbor doing that stuff? I always ask to fish on private property, plus clean up after yourself, says Felix. Absolutely, brother. That's all you got to do. If you go up to a guy and you say, hi, sir, my name is Bill Robinson, and this is my fishing gear. This is what I do. I like to fish in ponds. I'm respectful. Sir, I take good care of your property. I catch and release. I'll always clean up after myself. And if there's any help you need to help keep this place maintained, I'd be glad to help you just for permission to fish in the pond. If anybody came up to me and said that, it would just be like it rained down from heaven. Anybody. But they never do that. They never do that. They never come up in a respectful and nice. They sneak in when you're not looking. And you can tell the content. We're going to close this live stream with this. You can tell the content of any man's heart and soul and conscience by what he does or she does when they think nobody else is looking. That is what defines the character of a human being, in my opinion. What they do, not when everybody's watching, but what they do when they think nobody's looking. And when they thought nobody was looking, they're in my pond stealing my fish. It's just not quite right, is it? Ask permission and do the right thing. It's never wrong to do the right thing, unless you're fooling with the government. Guys, thank you all so very much for joining me. This has been a fun live stream. Lots of craziness going on. Please don't jump to conclusions with what's going on in our current world. I'm eagerly anticipating hearing about this. Thank goodness. Thoughts and prayers go out to the families and the folks who are affected by all that, to our whole nation. I think this makes our entire nation look bad. I think we all need to take this time to regroup our thoughts and to think about unity instead of division, and to try and work together and be all one country of one people that care about the future of our country and aren't out here just to get something free and aren't out here just to argue and fuss and fight amongst each other. We've got to work together to make this the best place possible, the best country that we could possibly have. That's coming from the mouth of a farmer and a veteran, and that's not politically driven. We've got to unite together and be strong. That's what we have to do. Thank you, guys. Please hit the like button. We'll see you in the next live stream video. Thank you all so much. If you have any ideas for video content or questions after the fact, after you watch this, post it down there in the comments. You're giving me some great ideas to share with you guys, and there's some wonderful content coming in the next few weeks. You see me rant, you see me rave, you see me get fussy about stuff like when I had the problems with my Ford Raptor. There's one on Facebook right now about this tire issue that I had. It's important for you guys to know when you may or may not be taken advantage of as a consumer. And I think it's my duty to share these stories with you when something goes astray and I'm getting crapped on by somebody. When you're getting crapped on by somebody or something bad happens to you, do you share it? I think so. I think it's the right thing to do. Let me know if you don't want to see that kind of stuff anymore, like consumer awareness kind of stuff. Let me know. Thank you guys so much. We'll get the cows to say goodbye here. Woo! Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time on the Stony Ridge. Please post comments down there. Tell me what you'd like to see videos about. I'd be happy to do it. Take care. Have a great day. Woo!